Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Mark back on Mark's Aquatics. Right, I thought I'd give you a little update on the little sea tank. Now you can see little white dots all over the glass. Now we've had a massive copepod explosion in here, and also we had a little stowaway. Now look at that. Now I didn't even realise this little guy was in the tank. Now it's a little tiny goby. He's only about, I would say, 1.5 inches long. That's all he is. Absolutely minuscule. I don't know if he's little. There's the female there. That's to show you the size difference. He's just zipped off. There's another little view for you there. I've got to clean the glass this morning, but I thought before I did it I'd show you guys the this copepod bloom. Hello, Aunt Blenny, looking stunning as ever. I know what she wants to do. She wants to bite my finger. You watch. You get out of here. Oh, that's great. There goes the magnet. I'll have to sort that out now. Yes, the algae is growing well on the glass, but just like I said, guys, I thought I'd just show you these little white dots. Now these are all little copepods. They're feeding on the algae that's growing on the glass. Nice little whelk up in the corner there. But you can see them. I'm not sure if you can actually point them out. Sorry, if you can see them moving. But there's a lot in there. But we're going to scrape them off because they're all going to get dispersed in amongst the gravel. But basically, guys, they are good. They are good squad in the tank. We need these guys to be in here because they're going to eat the algae off the rocks, off of everything. As you can see, those barnacles there have been predated upon by the starfish. Now, next time I go down the beach, they're going to be taken back, and I'll bring home a fresh barnacle rock for them. Actually, I can't take that one back because it's got the anemones on. But I'll put another one in there without any anemones on so they can feed on that as well. Lots and lots of shells. That little oyster's doing fine. That little rock oyster, still doing well. Now I did have it up there, but the hermit crabs and different things knocked it off. So, hello you. Bumped it off. Lenny's doing fine. Look at that. He's polished that rock off lovely. You'll let it grow for about, I would say, 3 or 4 days. Let the algae grow on there, and then he'll get to work. I'm not sure if you can see him moving there, but he loves that little rock, and his little mate down there as well, which I brought out the crab tank and put in there because the crabs were having a go at him all the time. And we've got lots of little hermits as well. But everything's doing fantastic in here. That dulse has gone absolutely bananas. Look at that. And I do like it when it's like this because you can see the algae and the phytoplankton is all pulsating around in the sea. Now if you go snorkeling, you'll notice you don't see it crystal clear. You always get that little bit of phytoplankton and different things floating around in the water column, and that's because of this huge big culture I've got going of phytoplankton. Now it's gone super green now, concentrated. You can see I've used about, I don't know, I would say maybe 5 inches. This is quite a big jug, but it's gone really thick green now. And what I do is I just take out a good 10 ml every day now, and I squirt it in the tanks. All the anemones are doing great. The snake locks that had split on the other video have now gone back over the top. Oh, sorry, have gone over the top, and they've stuck together again down there. They've joined up for a chat again. There's that little tiny goby again there, look, on the glass. Not sure, he must have been in one of the little tiny holes in the rock, and he's been in there and he's grown as time's progressed on. All the shrimps are doing well, still full of eggs. They haven't let those go yet. A few more up in that dulse there as well. Now you can see we've had quite a bit of an algae bloom in this tank. I've turned the lights down a little bit now, but you can see up on that bladder rack there's all kinds of different weeds starting to grow on that rack itself, which you do see on the beach throughout the different times of the year. As the water warms up, the increase in weed production grows and grows, just like the plants do on the trees and everything on land. Absolutely fantastic. You can see all that little streamer weed there, or gut weed as it's called, growing off that power head. There's some other reddish type of weed which is starting to grow there as well. It's really interesting as it's going along. Now the temperature in here now at the moment is 15.8 degrees. and it's basically that in the workshop now as it is. So the chiller's set for, what have we got it on? I think I've got it at 16 degrees at the moment, so every time it hits 16 degrees it will chill it back down to 15.5. But yes, Aunt Blenny's doing spectacularly well, always coming to say hello. There you go, you get a better view of those little tiny copepods on the glass there. But where is everybody? I'll show you the crab tank in a minute. That's doing well. Now some of you guys were getting concerned that the crabs are too big, and you're exactly right, they are too big. So that's why the next foraging trip, let me just go over there and I'll show you that tank now. Yes, on the next foraging trip guys, we're going to be taking them back. I'm going to keep this guy because I think he's fantastic. He's no problem. But old Claw's down there and his mate around this side are getting quite big. There's a few smaller ones like up around the duckbill there on that return pipe. But I think when I go back down to the beach now, I'm going to take all of these guys back. As you can see as well, sorry I forgot to say that, they've been predating on these mussels as well, the big ones. I see they've opened them up and they've eaten those. Even though I feed them very well. He's dragged, that one was there, but now it's down by him and he's got a little eye on it. So yeah, I think we'll take all these back now. They've eaten all the dulse, as you can see, that's all gone. And we've got to give the glass all a good clean. Now I'm not one of these channels that's just going to polish up everything. I like a bit of algae in the tank because it feeds things that are in the tank as well. You get these diatoms and different things like that brown on the rock over there. This is all food for the creatures that live there and live in your tanks and live in the sea. Like that little winkle up there, he's polishing up all that bladder rack and keeping everything nice. But I'll leave it for about 3 days, and then what I do is then I just scrape it off, which puts it into the water column. Yeah, look at this monkey here scoffing this Irish moss. This is what they do. They're omnivorous, so they will eat anything. They're just like us. They'd eat an ice cream if you gave them one. But he's picking away at that nicely. Sorry about the glare. But yeah, they're all going to go back down the beach and we're going to go for a forage very, very soon. Now, the reason why I haven't been down to the beach is because my Algae decided it was going to fail on the MOT. And it was not a very good fail, and, well, say that it was a curse. So I've had to sell it off as spares, and now I'm looking for something new. So that's why we can't get down the beach at the moment, but as soon as I've got another bit of transport, we're going to be off down the beach because the weather is fining up now, and I want to start finding some mullet and little fingerling mullet and things like wrasse and maybe a butterfish or some pipefish, various things like that to go into this tank as well, which I think is going to be very interesting to see because they're not actually in the rock pools at the moment. Within the next couple of months they're going to start moving in, and then we can catch a couple of those, which are going to be really nice to have in here. So I think what I'm going to do now is clean the glass, and I'll get back to you when it's a little bit cleaner. Ah, there you go, that's a little bit better now. We're all nice and clean. Now our Blenny there is itching for some food, as are the gobies, because this is earlier on in the morning and I normally come in at this time to feed them. That's why they're all jumping around. Now I can't believe that these fish get so accustomed to people so quickly. I've kept freshwater fish for many years, and these guys tame up so quick. They really are not scared of anything. Now if I put my finger in there, she'll have a go at it. No, I'm not gonna. But she will have a go at it. If I put anything in there, she will have a go at it. It's amazing how aggressive they are. I suppose in the sea, you know, things don't come along that often food wise, so they really have to take those opportunities when they do arise. So she really does snatch anything that you put in there, as do the gobies as well. Now I've taken that big pot out that was in there and I've put a smaller one in, a little flower pot, just to see if she'll spawn in there. We haven't had any action yet as such, but hopefully we will. She's looking rather chunky. She was huge the other day, but I think she'd eaten one of the shrimps. Oh, there goes my little power head blowing in a nice little surge in there. I've just raised it up slightly at the back, so as it pulses, it goes from being on a constant flow to a pulse every sort of, I would say, 20 minutes. So I've got it set so when it does go on to full flow, as you can see, it starts vortexing a little bit of air into the water and creating all those little micro bubbles in there, which are great and simulate a little rock pool surge. And also pulsating between constant flow and pulsing, it just disrupts that that constant all the time flow. So it breaks things up. It dislodges the detritus from between the rocks, just like the tides going in and out, like I've said in other videos as well. Now I was going to say, guys, as well, I was going through my older videos the other day and I've completely forgotten about my big jellyfish aquarium that I hand built a long time ago now, and you guys might be interested in that because obviously that's seawater as well. And I kept some moon jellyfish in there, which were absolutely fantastic. Go back into my playlists, guys, if you want to watch that one. It's a 5-part series on how I built it from some recycled scrap acrylic tube which I got from a recycling plant. I was scouring the country for different places and I managed to come across this company that was recycling these acrylic tubes, and I got them of various sizes. That's how I made the tank crab island. If you're unfamiliar with that one, you can go back. That was the first crab island that I did, and that was with the red crabs, the red freshwater brackish crabs that you can get and you see in your aquarium shops, the little red ones. I made another little tank for them, and that's worth a watch as well, how I created that, where I had the peat in the middle and the water around the outside, and the crabs were coming out onto the land in amongst the little plants that I put in there. That was fantastic, it really was. But yes, go and check out that how I built that jellyfish tank, guys. It's a big tank as well, so it's and it took me some time, but it's worth a watch. It was some of my earlier videos that I was still really learning what I was up to at the time, so with doing things like that, but I really enjoyed building it. So yeah, pop back and have a look, give it a thumbs up, hit the old subscribe, and for all you new subscribers, that we've had quite a lot recently on the channel, welcome aboard. Thank you so much for subscribing and being part of Mark's Aquatics and being part of the crew here. And it's been fantastic, the amount of videos that this new series has got on these little tanks that I'm doing now. I think I've kept these guys long enough. I'm going to put some food in for them now, if I can find it. Oh, there it is. I normally just put a little pinch of it in with my fingers if I don't get bitten by Aunt Blenny. She'll shoot up into the corner now because she's already seen the pot. Yeah, here she comes. She'll follow me. And you'll see her eating it off the surface. The pumps will start blowing it around in a minute and you'll see a bit of a feeding frenzy going on. Boom, there you go. Just like the tide simulation. I'll get back in the way of my door to stop the glare. But they absolutely love feeding time. Look at that. Bit more air. It does make a little bit of a noise because it's in the workshop. It doesn't really worry me that much, to be honest. It's not in the house, so it doesn't drive me and the wife crazy. Gurgling away. And this doesn't happen all the time. Like I said, it's only every sort of 15-20 minutes. And it should go back onto pulse quite soon. In fact, I'll put it on pulse again and then you'll get a little bit better of a view of them feeding. But like before, some of the weeds are growing now on these rocks down here. Little red weeds are starting to appear. I'm not sure if it's young dulse or young Irish moss, to be honest. That little painted top shell there is still doing extremely well feeding. What else has disappeared in here? Oh, the baby sea lettuce has disappeared off the back glass up here. That's gone. Whether or not the shrimps have eaten it, because they're always up there, or maybe the little hermit crabs have gone up there and had a go at it as well, I'm not sure. But it's all food for them. A lot of these things are omnivorous and they eat the weed, they eat, you know, the shellfish and everything else. I've got to get some more whelks in here as well. You can see there's a few deceased little guys down there that have been eaten by the starfish, but I leave them in there for the younger hermit crabs, but they seem to have all moved out of their shells now, and so they're going to go on to bigger and better things. So I'm going to have to whip those guys out and find some bigger shells down the beach. I did get some. I've got them somewhere. I'll have to put them in, but if not, I'll get some more off the beach on our next foraging trip, which I am really looking forward to. The last time we went down the beach, my goodness, I couldn't believe how windy it was down there, gusting 60 miles an hour, me and the wife getting blown around the beach It was quite funny, to be honest. We were just laughing at each other so much, getting blown around. It was great fun. But you can see the way the dulse has been growing, and that Irish moss. It's so vivid. You can see that beautiful blue sheen that it's got on the Irish moss, which is right there. There's my little airline pointer. Can't find me tongs anywhere. They're gone. I think my daughter may have pinched them for a project or something. But there you go. But yes, that's growing well. The dulse is growing amazingly. The only thing that isn't growing is the coralline weed down there. That pink coralline weed which you find on the beach. That's gone white. That's kind of bleached out a bit. Could be due to a lot of light. But then again, you do get it up on the shore, right up on those intertidal pools where the sun beats down on it all day, all throughout the day at low water, and obviously it's shallow there on the incoming tide as well. So I'm not sure if it's going to be that, or it's some nutrient it's lacking in. But I'm doing regular water changes in here, guys, and that's replenishing and that's rebuffering all that calcium, magnesium, strontium, all these different minerals that are in seawater. So I'm not sure what it can be. I've tested all the levels are fine. My calcium's around 400 parts per million. Yeah, it's weird. Magnesium's around 15,000 parts per million. It all seems to be pretty good, so I'm not really sure what's going on there. I'll take you around the other side and I'll show you this, how beautiful and vivid that dulse is. There you go, guys. That's absolutely beautiful red. Look at that. I know it's a little bit cloudy because we've just cleaned the glass, and there's a little bit of air in the water now because of the pumps sucking that in and blowing it around. But you can see the anemones are all out now. You just saw them, they're all closed. But as soon as that food goes in the water and they sense that protein, boom, they're awake straight away, waiting to catch any little bits that float around and pass by. They get caught in them, up in their little tentacles. What else have we got there? That green snake lock is absolutely beautiful. Now, you know, I told you it's split into two. On, I think, I'm not sure which video it was, a couple back now. But that's getting greener all the time, and those pink tips are really starting to pop now. It's looking absolutely beautiful. Now you may wonder where the all those dahlia anemones are. Well, there's one right there which is closed up. Now these guys tend to like lower light conditions, and mostly at night they come out and feed. So there's one there. We've got another one down there. Now that blue anemone was up here, but now he's gone down here. I think he's heading towards Lenny's Rock, I think. So those two little beadlets have taken over that place straight away. It just shows you these things move around and they'll pick those ideal spots where that food flow goes, and they'll